Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic and welcome back to the channel. As if you guys, this is a Scooby-Doo related video. Now, I know I probably didn't post yesterday, I don't think I did, and this is of course coming out today, but we are leaving for Disney World soon, so I'm basically trying to film a butt ton of videos so that I can post when I'm there, so apologies if I don't post tomorrow or the next day or what have you, but you know, we are getting ready, and I'm going to be essentially making videos to post when I'm there so I don't have to crunch, so you guys can watch some cool content. But regardless of that, today we're going to be talking about Scooby-Doo, and just kind of, I've been watching the Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated show, Season 1, and it kind of made me think, like, wow, you know, the show really has, from I think like the 60s, 60s, I think 63 or something like that, it really has gotten a lot of attention, you know what I mean? And I love Scooby-Doo. I loved it as when I was a kid, I love it as a teenager, now I love it as an adult, and I'll always love it. But you know, I was introduced to Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?, right, the original. And it's iconic, it's freaking classic, you know, it's a great show. The animation, it's a show that pretty much holds up. It's kind of old, 60s, but, you know, it does hold up. And then, of course, we had, you know, What's New Scooby-Doo, which was my personal favorite. I think it was really cool. That was when I was getting a little older kid. And then, of course, when I was a teenager and now an adult, we have, like, Be Cool Scooby-Doo, which a lot of people don't like, which I don't know why. I think Be Cool Scooby-Doo is probably the funniest. And then, of course, we have Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, which is the first Scooby-Doo show to kind of revolve around an arc of the characters and kind of revolve around a big, you know, story. You know, I mean, like, every episode in most of the other show incarnations are just, like, each episode is its own story, its own mystery, and then of course you have the movies, but this show, Mystery Incorporated, it really goes into the history of the gang, their families, where they come from, the old Mystery Inc. with Professor Pericles and all these other guys, and it's a show, again, I don't have Season 2 on DVD, I need to get that soon. I have not finished Season 1, I have 3 more episodes to go before we leave, so I need to crank those out, but it's a great show, you know what I mean? It's not my favorite, but it has a lot of scary monsters, and I'm not, you know, most of the Scooby-Doo monsters, again, Scooby-Doo isn't for kids, it's suitable for kids, so it can't be extremely gory, or extremely violent, or extremely scary. But some of the monsters in Scooby-Doo are pretty, you know, nightmare fuel sometimes, and, you know, they're not supposed to be good to look at, but this show, Mystery Incorporated, one of the newest shows, of course, it really does have a lot of these effed up monsters, you know, like this one monster didn't have, like, a head, so it was like, you know, his neck, and then, like, his pecs had, like, eyes, and his stomach and a mouth. It was really effed up. You have the classic ghosts, you know, you have these crazy different, and throughout the whole show of Scooby-Doo, you have these different monsters that really create this tension. And I know technically every Scooby-Doo, it's like, oh, it's a guy in a mask. So, you know, there's no real tension, but it's just fun to watch the gang, you know, try to kind of solve the mystery of who did it. And there are, especially in Mystery Incorporated, there's a lot of things where, you know, like What's New Scooby-Doo and Where Are You and even Be Cool Scooby-Doo. There's a lot of these things where, oh, you're watching it, you're like, oh, that guy did it, or he did it, or he did it, and then it's like, oh, I was right. But sometimes you're wrong, and that's what's pretty freaking crazy. Like, there was one episode in Mystery Incorporated where I was like, oh, she did it. You know, I was banking on it for the 22 minutes. I'm like, she effing did it, and I know how. And then it was another person, and I'm like, whoa, you know, they actually got me. They pulled the rug out under me, you know. And it was, you know, the show is really getting smarter. The franchise is getting smarter, right? We've had Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, which is my favorite animated Scooby-Doo film. It's one of the rare ones where the monsters are actually freaking real. You have the live action with Matthew Lillard, and then you have the other, like, Cartoon Network live action ones. And then, of course, we have Scoob, which was the big revival animated film, which not a lot of people enjoyed. I have it on Blu-ray. I reviewed it on YouTube. I watched it on YouTube, and it was a good movie. It's not great, you know, it's not a perfect film, like, you know, I think the animation guys did the Lego movies, and, you know, of course, the animation's spectacular, the voice acting is great, you know, the new Shaggy, I don't like him, but, you know, he does a good job in the role, he's just not a good Shaggy voice, you know, like, he's not like a bad voice actor. I think a lot of people had problems with Scoob because it really, it took, like, these old Hanna-Barbera properties, you know, like Captain Caveman and all these things, and they kind of shoved them in. Blue Falcon and all that. You know, people really wanted Scoob to be a classic Scooby-Doo film, and it wasn't, but I think that's what was smart about it. It had a lot of things that were kind of weird, but I do think that it was a good movie, and I do watch it from time to time. Again, I do have it on Blu-ray. It's a good movie. And now we bring to the final part of the future of Scooby-Doo that I know about, at least, is the Velma adult animated show. I made a video on this maybe a year ago, or close to a year ago, and I personally, I'm excited to see what they do with an adult animated Velma TV show, but my only problem with it is that it probably won't effing work. Because again, Scooby-Doo is a show and it's a franchise that, yes, it's kid-friendly, but it's also perfectly fine for a teenager and it's perfectly fine for an adult, right? It's not only for children. Adults can watch anything Scooby-Doo and not feel stupid, right? Because it's for all ages. So making an adult Velma show is, if anything, it's going to upset the whole freaking franchise, because now you're going to have something that's not for kids, but it's strictly for adults. So, you know, is there going to be sex, drinking, violence, F words? I don't know. When they say adult, I think of, you know, that kind of stuff. Because Scooby-Doo is a show that, again, it's for kids and adults. So making a show that is only for adults really will be kind of strange, and I don't know if they can pull it off. I'm excited to see what they do, though. But who knows? You know, having a huge crush on Velma as a kid, and let's be honest, still now. Too bad animated characters aren't real, right? You hate it. But there are so many great things in this show that, revolving back to the whole center of this video, I mean, we've really gotten, you know, some of the Scooby-Doo things have been more kiddie, like the one where they're little kids. And then, of course, the more adult and oriented, which is, of course, Mystery Incorporated. You have a really comedic with Be Cool. What's New Scooby-Doo is more of a modern revitalization. And then, of course, you also have Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? There's a lot of different movies across live action, animation, TV show, movie. It's fantastic. You also have the DC Comics comic books, which are adult comic books with like gore and violence and, you know, stuff like that. They're great comics though, and you know, it really just, every episode of Scooby-Doo is technically the same, you know what I mean? Like every Call of Duty is the same. You shoot people. Every GTA game, every Assassin's Creed, Lego. But there's certain things about each episode and each show and movie and whatever that really makes you want to watch it, you know what I mean? You actually have a reason to put it on. It's not, because, you know, it's going to be a guy in a mask, but it's how they get there and the different comedic beats they hit and hit and the different animations they have. It's fantastic. So again, Scooby-Doo is a show that I really loved, and upon you know, watching Mystery Incorporated for the first time on my TV over here, it's just been a blast, you know what I mean, to just see how far we've come as a franchise. And I think I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for Velma. I don't know if it's going to be good, but, you know, here's hoping. And it doesn't help that, like, I can do Shaggy's voice, you know. So that's cool. That's cool. But it's still, I think that it's good for Halloween's, because I get a lot of candy. But I'm excited to see what the future brings. Again, I'm a huge Scooby-Doo fan. We have even the video games, briefly. Scooby-Doo Unmasked, which is one of my favorite video games ever made on the PS2. Too bad they didn't frickin' remaster, right? We need a remaster of Scooby-Doo Unmasked. We also have Scooby-Doo in LEGO Dimensions, right? The Toys to Life game. You had, I think, a team pack, so you have like a whole open world of Scooby-Doo, and, you know, the Matthew Lillard, and they all came back, and you know, you get the Lego sets and you build them and you put them on the toy pad. You can play as Scooby-Doo in the gang in the Lego game. It's fantastic. So again, Scooby-Doo is major. You know what I mean? It's huge. It's by far the biggest Hanna-Barbera property, and I'm excited to see where it goes in the future, and it's just a big part of my franchise life. Hope you guys, you know, enjoyed this video. Again, tell me in the comments, what is your favorite incarnation of Scooby-Doo, and what's your favorite Scooby-Doo movie? Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.